Let's go out to Claire in Cincinnati. What's up, Claire? How we doing?
Doing good. How are you?
We are having a blast. What's up?
So, Dr. John, I have a situation / couple questions for you.
Anytime somebody starts a sentence with "so," then I always have to hang on to the desk a little bit. All right, so what's going on?
So, all right, again. My whole life, I've had this narrative for my mother that my father is her ex-husband who has, he passed away. She told me some not so great things about him, too, that he was an alcoholic, he was abusive. So that was kind of the narrative that I had. And then flash forward to 20-something years later, my husband was at work, and he got a call from a stranger. He was asking questions about my father, and it turns out he is claiming to be my father.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He offered like a DNA test, and so I'm taking it pretty seriously.
Yeah. So he offered to take a DNA test, or he offered to show. I mean, how do you know this isn't just some creep of the week person?
I think because of how my mother is, it would make sense.
Have you talked to your mom about this?
No. It's very hard to approach her with things.
Why?
I'm a pretty sensitive person, and I don't like confrontation. And she is, narcissist is a very strong word, but there are a lot of tendencies that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a bullying, like no responsibility is ever taken. It's switched back on me. So my fear is if I go to her with this, I'm just going to be blamed somehow. And my trust has already been pretty violated, so I don't really want that on top of it.
So here, tell me if I'm off, okay? It feels like somebody came out of the blue and told you some things. Has he given you some like convincing thises or that's, or is he just telling you, hey, I'm willing to take a DNA test. I'm pretty sure I'm your dad. I look like you. Like we have same color hair. I mean, what's he telling you to convince you?
So I haven't actually spoken to him yet. He called, this is kind of a red flag to me. He called my husband, not me. So I haven't actually spoken to him yet.
Okay. So here's what, man. Here's what I wanted you to be careful of. Your mom told you your dad passed away when you were young. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a part of you that really hopes that's not true. And what kind of story would it be if all along your dad was alive and you found him, and sounds like you've had some challenges with your mom over the years, some heavy stuff, some hard stuff, and to the point that you don't even want to ask her, is there a chance that her story? So the idea this person could come and really fill a hole that you have, a mom and dad size hole, that the appeal of that story, just from me as a listener who just met you like a minute and a half ago, dude, I want that to be the case in your life. And I want him to come out and be like, she told me you had passed away and here I am and all the story. And like, I want that to be the case. We are way, way far away from that. Right now, you've got some dude who reached out to your husband, maybe from your mom's past, and is throwing a story out. So one of two things happens if I'm you. Number one, I'm going directly to my mom and saying, I am scheduling a DNA test with a man who claims to be my father. Is this possible before I go through this? Not, hey, what do you think? But I'm a grown woman who can do whatever I want to, and I'm about to do this. Do you have anything you want to tell me? That's probably the track I would take. And I know you don't like confrontation on this. This confrontation has found you, not the other way around. Okay? Either you are faced with a 26, 27-year-old lie, and you've been robbed of your entire life of having your father in there in your life, or you have a psychotic, crazy person trying to get into your life, trying to weasel their way in. You hear what I'm saying? And it
Yeah,
feels like the story
definitely.
here in your soul has spun up much faster than the data that you're working with.
Hmm.
The other side of it is, does this guy want to meet you? Does he want to talk to you?
He does. So when he spoke to my husband, he was my husband was saying, we're going to need to sit on this for a little bit. Contact will not be direct. So yeah, he knows like it'll take a couple months here to like reach out or initiate anything.
And so what is going to happen in that couple of months? Like, what are you going to just sit and think on besides just making yourself crazy?
Well, I'm also pregnant and I'll be giving birth here soon. So that was kind of my main priority. And I think I just want to protect the family that I have already. I don't really want to introduce this new guy if he's not worth my time or if he is crazy. Because that was something I had thought about too, like this random guy, like now I'm having a child and you want to be in my life. It did feel a little bit weird.
The whole thing feels weird. What I don't want you to do is allow the weird to come to you. I want you to meet the weird head on.
Okay.
And you sounds like you have a great husband with you. Maybe you offer, I don't know if they would do this in your area. I know some places would, that you reach out to the non-emergency police department in your area or the fire department in your area and say, a man has come out claiming to be my father and I want to do DNA tests. Would it be possible for us to do it there where there is safety? And, or possibly at a local hospital. Or I just had some blood work done, a follow-ups, doing a bunch of blood work for my doctor, and I went to a place, and they said that they do paternity tests and all kinds of things there all of the time, and they can schedule them in staggered I got to talking with the phlebotomist, and she was fascinating, man. She sees some stuff, but she's seen paternity tests, like people getting fistfights there. She's had people come in and do paternity tests and then leave, and then the next person comes in, and then she calls both of them back or emails both of them back with this, you are not the father, you are, that kind of thing. I think you can set that up. Or you can go to the local phlebotomist, which is just like one of those, any lab test now kind of places, and they're on street corners everywhere. You could go in, actually do your test, and then have your husband contact this person and say, she's done her part of the test. You need to go to this place and have it done. And then the test results will be sent to her. You can do that. And then you never have to talk to him, see him. And if this person's interested in being in your life, they can go get the test done without ever having to interact with you. So here's what I'm saying. There's a couple of different things. Here's what I don't want you to do. If there's nothing, like you're not going to talk to people. You're not going to chase down old brothers and sisters. You're not going to call your mom. You're not going to do these things. So waiting 2 months to wrap this up is going to make you and your brand new baby nuts. Not really your brand new baby. I kind of just threw that in for effect. But it's going to make you and your husband bonkers.
Yeah.
I'd much rather you just go meet this. Fine, I'm going to go get my test today. And dude, you've got 48 hours. You're my dad and you're about to be a grandfather. You got 48 hours. Like I would approach it that way. And I'm taking control of this. Here, if you hear nothing else, hear this. You don't like conflict and conflict has found you. Okay.
Great.
And so I would, in fact, if I'm you, I'm retracting what I said earlier. I'd be on the phone with everybody. I would schedule that DNA test in a staggered thing, either at a police department, in a non-emergency police department, or at a local shop. I'd go ahead and do mine and be gone, and then tell him he's got 48 hours to come do it there. And I would call my mom. I'd call everybody. I would turn all the lights on and be like, so some guy's coming out. Is this right? Because the blood test is already on the way. Mom, what do you got to tell me? I would do it like that. And if she says, you're crazy, nothing, this never happened, like, cool. Well, the test is going to find out because this is bananas. Mm-hmm. And dude, call me back if you come to find out that your dad was really alive all this time. Because now you're in a whole other adventure, right? Yeah.
That's kind of what also is stressing me out too. I think maybe that's the whole idea of, I'm going to wait these couple months because I just don't know how to deal with it. And then the other crazier part, I don't know if I mentioned this, but he's been in a city where, like I was living my whole childhood. He was there. That's what he told my husband.
So there's lots of stories about strange arrangements early on. Someone might have struggled with alcohol or drug addiction. Somebody might have struggled with any number of things. And there's a handshake agreement between a mom and a dad saying, I'll step out of their life. But they watch their life from afar. I've seen some really heartbreaking stories where moms or dads out of the picture who've been told, hey, your mom and dad died, have these real elaborate photo albums of school clippings and things like that they just watch their kid grow up. They just weren't in their life. And so that didn't surprise me at all, not even a little bit. But who knows what the story was 26 years ago? Who knows what the story was, right? And whatever story you get will probably be mostly the truthish, right?
Maybe.
So I don't know. So before I let you go, I don't know what to root for here. Whether I don't know either. Desperately want your dad to be alive and you to have the other 75 years of your life with him, or he won't be 70, so 50 more years with him, and you'll figure that out, and find out your mom lied to you, just stole from you, or that I want this thing to be put to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want?
It's hard to say for me, too. I think in an ideal world, I could have both of those relationships, but something tells me it's going to be either one of, my mom or my dad, or none of them. Because these are, I know how my mother is. She's very extreme. So
gotcha.
It would take a while to rebuild. Yeah.
So here's a beautiful moment. You're about to have, is this your first baby?
Yes.
Girl or boy?
A boy.
All right. So you're about to, and I would have said, all right, if it was a girl too. I just was trying to be supportive. You and your husband, and now your new son. This family is y'all's. So nobody else gets a vote. Not your mom, not this person coming out of the woodwork. Nobody. Y'all two. Y'all decide who else gets to speak into your life. And what I'd love for you and your husband to do before you get the blood test, before you start making the calls, which I hope you do today. I hope you start today. And you're like, you know what? Forget everybody. This is mine, right? I hope that's your attitude. But I want you and your husband to come up with the boundaries. I'll talk to mom once a day. I will answer mom's text once a day, regardless of what happens. I will invite this man to dinner one time. And then I will then regroup from there. I want y'all to set some boundaries so that when whatever happens, you don't immediately get dragged underwater. That you're like, whoa, mom lied to me for 25 years. All right, we've already etched in stone here. I'm only going to talk to her once a day. So I'm going to text her and say, Mom, I got the paternity test back. This man is my father. This is very hard for me right now. I will be in touch. And then I'm not answering the phone after that. I'm not answering text messages because I am in control. These are my boundaries. These are me and my husband's boundaries. You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For 26 years, Claire, you've lived under this thumb. And today it comes off.
Yeah.
Hear what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm ready for that.
Today you become freaking Claire. And the thumb comes off. Ready? Right?
Let's go.
Thank you. Yes. Today is the day that Claire says, no, this is mine. This is my life. It's my life. Cue Bon Jovi right now, which would have been epic. You missed that one, Ben. It's cool, though. We cue Bon Jovi. It's your life. It's time to stand up. Boundaries for you. Hey, let me know, because I want to know how this one ends.